Imagine this. Your family is grieving, confused, or even worse, at odds with one another because of something that you could have prevented. Warren Buffett offers simple advice to avoid this, which is to have an honest conversation. And this applies to everyone, not just billionaires. Welcome back. I'm Taylor DeMars, a third generation financial advisor and certified financial planner. I help families navigate retirement and manage about $100 million in assets. Today, I'll share a story about my wife's grandmother who recently passed and how you can start this conversation with your family that you really shouldn't skip this holiday season. Now, last month, my wife's grandmother passed away after a battle with terminal cancer. This summer, we flew out to visit her, and she asked me to review her finances and estate plan with her, something I was honored to do. But while she was willing to open up to me to review all these elements, she was really secretive to her very own children. They were in the dark about her financial situation, and naturally, they were worried about whether she had enough to cover her palliative care, hospice, and how things much less would play out after she had passed. Unfortunately, when she did pass, that secrecy caused some friction between her children. Emotions were naturally already running high, and the dissonance between what they expected of her estate plan and how it actually turned out made it much harder for them to come together as a family. And this is exactly what Warren Buffett says: be sure your children understand the logic for your decisions and the responsibilities they will encounter upon your death. In my wife's grandmother's case, a simple conversation could have easily saved her family from some unnecessary stress and heartache in an already difficult time. Now, Warren Buffett is one of the most respected voices in finance, and he's seen this scenario play out time and time again. And frankly, I've seen it among my clients as well. Buffett's advice to avoid this is simple. Before you sign your will, share it with your children. You need to explain the logic behind your decisions, why you've made certain choices, and who will be responsible for what. And most importantly, you have an opportunity to listen to their questions and concerns. Buffett's advice isn't saying you need to make your children the decision makers or give up control, but by explaining your plan now, you avoid them asking the whys that will inevitably come up later when you're not around to answer. And this isn't feedback for just billionaires. Whether you're leaving behind modest savings or a significant estate, this conversation can save your family from confusion, resentment, and even potential conflicts. Now, I can imagine you're already thinking, I don't want to share necessarily every detail of my finances with my family. And the good news is you don't have to. This conversation isn't about revealing your net worth or every last detail of your financial plan. It's about making sure your family knows three key things. First, who to contact. This includes your financial advisor, attorney, tax preparer, and executor. These people are core elements of your plan that they need to be able to reach out to and help navigate your end of life and afterlife planning. Number two, where they should go to find important documents: your will, your trust if you have one, or power of attorney forms. This could be found either in a safe place, in a safe in your home. For us at our firm, we like to keep a digital copy of our clients' documents just so that they're always at hand and we can make sure their plan aligns with it. And the third thing is they need to know what the overall plan is, not necessarily with all the overwhelming details. For example, in our practice, we keep copies of our clients' legal documents and have a full picture of their financial situation. That way, when a client passes, we're frankly often one of the first phone calls that their family makes because they know we know where to start. And this can make all the difference in a very stressful time for the family. So, assuming you're on board with everything so far, you're probably wondering, how do I even start this conversation, especially during the holidays? My advice is to keep it simple and intentional. You don't need to gather everybody around and have a big formal announcement. Instead, try and start off by saying something like, I just want to make sure you all know there's a plan in place if something happens to me. And here's who to call, and here's where to find everything. This way, when you're framing it as an act of love and responsibility, you avoid making it feel awkward or uncomfortable for family members. In fact, this conversation can even strengthen family relationships by clearing up misunderstandings before they even happen. And if you're worried about fairness, this is the opportunity to explain your reasoning rather than after you've passed and you literally don't have a voice to resolve conflicts. For example, if one child is getting a larger share because maybe another child received financial help earlier in life, now is the time to address it. It's much better to have transparency and have these conversations now rather than leaving your family guessing or frustrated at you later on. Here's the bottom line. Like Warren Buffett says, you don't want your children asking why when you're no longer around to answer. Taking just a few minutes this holiday season to share your plan with your loved ones can save them from unnecessary pain later. However, if you don't have a plan in place right now, Now is the time to get started. Please don't delay. So please, this Thanksgiving, this Christmas, don't skip this conversation, for your family will surely thank you for it later. It's not just about estate planning, it's about protecting these people that you love the most. Subscribe for more retirement insights and consider sharing this video with someone you know, because I know that someone came across your mind as you were watching today. Thanks. Take care.